Kristie here from Bushveld Bees. Today what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to deal with waxmoth. We've got a box that's been stored in the garage for a couple of months now. It's got some mixed frames. It was underneath a whole bunch of stuff, so we actually didn't know that it hadn't been sorted yet. And when we opened it up, we've seen it is completely filled with waxmoth. So we're going to sort that out today and show you how to deal with it and how's the best way to eradicate the waxmoth and be able to still reuse your equipment. So let's go have a look. As you can see, we number our boxes to keep track, and these we have sealed using plastic plugs, but you could also use sponge if you prefer. Each box is numbered according to the farm as well as a number, so we can keep a track record of what's happening. This is very important for the containment of disease. Whenever we're clearing out waxmoth, we prepare a specific area using a mat or a plastic sheet of some kind so that we can make sure that the disease is contained to one specific area. We make sure that there's a box ready for us to place any diseased waxmoth casings, etc. into there. And wowza, you can see this box is properly infested. An infestation like this does real damage to the hardware, our frames, our boxes, and that's a real pity because this box is fairly new and now damaged. On top here you can have a look and see the spider web-like nest that is basically part of the waxmoth nest, as well as quite a bit of feces, those little black things in amongst it. We use a simple hive tool, which most of us have in our equipment bag. Easy to use, no special stuff needed, and we can get going with eradicating them. Use any side of the hive tool you'd like and just scrape the buggers off. You can see the dents in the wood, not great, and all the larvae coming off there, the worms. Ugh, disgusting. As we scrape this away, we see some actual live moths. There's a moth right there, and you can see within those cocoons those worms. Oh, gross. Anyway, this is looking quite problematic. If the moths are around, it means that we could very easily infect some of our other hives. So we might have to just have a look and see if we're going to continue here. Oh, there you can see it. Have a look. Oh dear, it's going away. Oops, it's flying away. Get him, squish him. Ah! Right, let's carry on with that. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, this is becoming an issue. We're going to quickly clean off this lid, and then I think we're going to stop where we are. We don't want to spread this disease. So in South Africa, the waxmoth invariably is not a problem for our stronger colonies. Our bees are very resilient and they keep them at bay. But as soon as a hive becomes weak, the waxmoth move in to come and do what they do best in nature, which is clean up. Basically, they eat the wax. It's part of their diet, and that allows them to basically reproduce very well, making worms like these gross ones. Yeah, and then once the worm has reached maturity, it will eat its way through more wax, become a moth at adulthood, and then leave that hive. Alright, quick tip. Remember that they burrow into the corners of the wood. Use your hive tool to dig those little buggers out of there. We make sure that we get rid of every little bit. We've got a massive black bag ready and waiting. We place all of that disgusting waxmoth stuff into the black bag, which will be disposed of. It is not reused at all. As you saw clearly, this box is extremely infested. We've decided to place the box with all the live bugs in the deep freeze. Sealed up nice and tight. Make sure that none of them can get out. That would be a disaster. And close up the deep freeze for a few days. Right, so a few days ago we started cleaning out these Waxmoth boxes and realized that as we were cleaning the lid, there were lots of mature moths flying off. And so we started getting a bit worried that they're going to infect our hives on our property. If we had the sufficient freezer space, we would have frozen it before we even started. But unfortunately, we didn't have enough space. But seeing how bad the infestation was in that particular box, we decided that it would be a better plan to try and clear some of the stuff out of our deep freeze and put the box in overnight. We actually left it in for 2 days just to make double sure that everything inside there is frozen, which kills the larva, it kills the moths, it kills everything. So now we're going to continue clearing through the box, and once we finish clearing it, just for extra measure, we'll place the box and frames back into the freezer for 24 hours, just to make sure that we eliminate that disease completely. When you are working with diseases such as waxmoth that can spread quite easily, or even hive beetle, it's important to keep that in mind, is whatever action you're doing, how is that spreading that disease. So we need to be quite vigilant about that. All right, so let's get having a look what it looks like now. You can see it's still quite wet from being in the deep freeze. As you can see, there's not much movement or anything like there was a few days ago. The actual moths are dead, so that's good. Right. Yeah, it's quite an infestation. But all of the larva and whatnot is completely dead now. So, yeah, you can see there. Alright, so now we're going to get going, cleaning the rest of it up and eradicating the wax moth. Let's get going.
Can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright.
Right, clearing off the frames. Again, using the corner of our hive tool to make sure every little nook and cranny has been checked and all the larva is pulled out of there. You can see here how effective the freezing method is. Dead, dead, dead. That's what we want to see. No movement. Hallelujah.
When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with your hair, your lips, your silhouette in the moonlight shine. With my love, you won't ever be alone, my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. Completely a fool. Been waiting for you, my love. Head over heels, I'm blinded by what I feel. My love is forever yours.
You can see here just how destructive the wax moth can be. It absolutely destroys your equipment. These frames are quite new and you can see the destruction of them. Dug in and very, very badly damaged.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You looked so fly in your red Corvette. Your hair, your look, your everything. When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with your hair, your lips, your silhouette.
Alrighty then, we're just about done here. We're on the second last frame. And as soon as we're done, like I said, we're going to clean out. There again, you can see how deep in the lava goes into the actual frame. So very important to dig that out properly. Once we're done here, these frames will be put back into the deep freeze along with the frames and box. And then at a later stage, we'll re-wax these frames and bait this box ready to be used over again. If you have a weak stomach, look away. This is so gross. I don't enjoy this job at all, which is why I don't often do it. But
You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet, with you I know that I'm complete. I'm in love with the summer's day, for you I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never let me go, my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. My love is forever yours.
and finito! Dun, 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 dun. Great job, Tristan. We always just use a brush and scratch it out. Just give it a good old brush down. Make sure that any little bits that were left behind are all scratched out. What a difference a couple of days worth of cleaning does. This box is almost ready for bees to move in, and that little bit of damage by the wax moth is not going to deter the bees. Once we've painted it with a bit of our magic slum gum, it'll be ready to go, and we'll be home to new bees soon enough. Hello. 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 Hello.